We'll take a look at it when we come back
Okay.
to the office.
I mean, if you want to be in a position to say no to one of your members, I get it. That seems rather disingenuous to ask us to provide time if you're not prepared to provide time.
We could, we said we were not going to. We'll take a look at it, yeah. Let's keep moving, the next one is 30.
You want to stay with the other part?
So if we're saying that that came from the manual, then we need to be clear about what part of the agreement is doing. So you need to,
Conference leave is from the manual, other than the added part, which we had a discussion at the table.
well,
Which
Richard,
way you said that.
we'll just come back to it. We're on 32. Overtime? Proposal from 225.
Yeah, that's a spin-off of labor management discussion or not? The rotation part of it, the 4 overtime lists. Or is that something we don't even do?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's part of SOG, and it was agreed upon in the management, so that language is in SOG. The, starting with the 12.1.
12.1.
01.
01, right. If it matches that language, we'll be all right. We'll have to check that. Some of your word for words have not been word for word. You cut and paste, so. We'll check it. If it's the same work, amenable to dropping it into the overtime line.
Okay. If you want to take a look at that. I think we talked about 34. That's the next one I have is the holiday. What's your position here?
I can't give you a final position until we know where we are with the wage issue. Because there's a substantial amount of additional compensation concealed in this article that impacts wages.
So they can hold a raise over our heads again or something else.
If you look at the compensation, you would realize that much you had a holiday paying for it. Our issue is certainly the 12 hours counting as sweat time. Our second issue is whether the 12 hours is a time and a half or straight time or something that's not working. Anyway, we end up on the monetary package.
Okay.
We could either live with the status quo at one extreme, or we may need to find some savings in some of those two provisions just for, which are not articulated here, but I know it's the practice.
Sure.
Should at least be articulated. not change the monetary value of it.
Sure.
We should at least explain how it works.
Yeah, I agree, I agree with you. All right, we talked about Article 38. That's the work-free workplace. I know you had some conceptual concepts and ideas about how it could offer something that may be part of a package, but you guys,
We'll give you language on that one, because the devil's in the details there. But the language will differentiate between people that disclose and seek help ahead of time, people that disclose and seek help in conjunction with being picked for a random drug test, and people that conceal through the whole process. Or refuse to do it. That last one's easy. People that refuse a drug test will be terminated.
yeah, once it's reached,
We'll give you language on that.
all right, health insurance, which is Article 40. Not 40. We tried to capture what you were doing. I think your last position was your status quo. Although one of your offers, you're going to make it part of the reopening.
Yeah, we want to maintain the status quo. We would reopen year to year to allow bargaining to reflect any change in what happens year to year. With wages open year to year, that would be the balancing point. But we're not prepared, as your proposal outlines, to guarantee that certain rates be locked in.
Are you, here's one of the concerns in this particular article is that to the benefit of the county, the union is waiving its rights on this. This actually is a waiver. I think that's huge because that's a huge cost on it. Even at current language, it's a waiver. And that's actually, the way it reads, that's actually an unopposable waiver. So that would need to survive the impasse process. But I understand what you're saying about being able to talk about it annually, because most contracts do as part of the process. I guess we talk about it to make sure we can keep the costs or look at new rates. I think last time we were here, I asked about the committees and what they made up on, if we have a bargaining checks were part of that. Selecting coverage or selecting carriers or anything like that. I think you said that could be open to allow them to come and be heard, but that's not currently what happens on it.
Well, there's a couple of levels of that. There's, first of all, the constitutional officers comprise the committee that does that. So we're not in a position to contract to add anybody to that particular committee. But there's a review process internally at the county level. There's no real power or authority associated with it, just the idea exchanging and that type of thing. We can't put you on a committee with the constitutionals.
Sure, there's no workers on any part of this, are they, and are the employees on any part of this process? Is that something that could happen? Is that, I mean, I'm sure the meetings are open to the public, but can we get some of the labor folks in the different organizations to be part of that? So they can at least make some suggestions to the committee?
I can't tell you how that committee operates. I'm fairly certain it operates in the sunshine, and that it's open to the public, and I'll be shocked if it wasn't. And there's a right to speak at a public meeting under statute, so. I don't think a contract provision would be necessary.
No.
To preserve the right of any union or individual, for that matter, would be to go to those meetings and ask to be heard.
But you have this labor management for everything else approach. And this is a real big ticket item. that affects our members, and they would like to, they should have a say or be a part of the process at some level, I would think. And yes, it doesn't have to be contractual, but we can definitely have that conversation here.
Well, we've got a provision in your language that says the county may consider creating a separate health insurance plan.
Yeah.
Is that where you see a committee coming into play?
Good. I mean, you guys can put it wherever you need to, I just think that if you want to continue with the way you're handling your healthcare, you should at least let these folks have some part of being in the process, some part of a committee format, or someone to make suggestions to the decision makers as to what the people that are using the service would like to see or have a say in prescription care or some kind of benefits that entail them. I've seen committees in other places, that's the only reason I suggested it here.
We have one at St. Pete.
Yes,
Who sits on it?
it's open, but when I was president, I said,
And the outcome was the committee made recommendations
yeah,
to the city manager.
HR, it was committee formed for HR. We all met, PDA, FFP, we brought it down.
So, just so I understand your language, the county may consider creating a separate health plan, health insurance plan, open only to file rescue bargaining employees, so forth and so on. If the county considered that, and agreed to that language, and considered creating it, and then didn't create it, would that be a breach of contract? We have a dispute over the language in the step one, and why we would do additional language just like it in another article.
Well, that's the proposal we took first shot at it. It's not the last proposal. What we did there was try to capture what you're currently doing, where you said monthly premiums, the county pays the monthly premiums for the employees that are covered. That was the most important part there, and this is a snapshot off of your website of what you're currently doing. As far as that right there, the different benefits that you're paying for.
Is the IAFF exploring an additional standalone health insurance program?
Not across the country because that would be so.
I mean, just regionally?
No, because we tried it years ago and it just, it's tough because of all of it. But we do have affiliates that have their own. And they're set up and the employer says, hey, here's what we would pay with increases, you will manage your own. But I don't know if you want to take us out of it because that's a healthier bunch that keeps your rates down. Most places don't want.
I'm just curious whether the regional
No,
or any combination of things is doing it. I could tell you that the Palm Beach County is exploring that and has a proposal pending with one municipality in Palm Beach County to do that.
They're pretty large. No, but they are.
So they may be out ahead of all of us, I'm not sure. And this is like details on it. But you're right, if it diminishes the pool and increase, it has a tendency to increase rates, but, who knows what affects what in terms of healthcare costs now. There's so many factors in play. There will be.
Doesn't weigh in or something, sure.
Well, that would go that way, was the issue you're trying to do some insurance, hey, it's not us. Well, that's what I'm saying, but it's not the lessest thing you can create. I'll put it this way, it wasn't an attempt for you to move us out of the process. Because that's going to affect the real cost.
That is how I read it. Plan open only for fire bargaining.
That I think came from firefighters are, and I think law enforcement is too, they are under a different cap where the employers start putting money over them, but it's going to be open to that group. Well, that's why, that's where I think.
This is, that's why we think in terms of being in a position to close out bargaining and free up this year's money for distribution. Just maintain the status quo and allow it to be reopened twice more than the term of the contract is the best way to approach it. Because it, as a standalone issue, we could explore options in bargain healthcare for a year. So,
All right, let's move on to 42. You have a proposal for that, huh? This is, Article 42, retirees, health insurance. If you want an explanation, for an example. Is this both picture?
Yeah.
Is this the first one?
Yes. Basically the same as last time, it just answers your one question in regards to who would be those 5 employees. We also,
so this is to negate the possible penalty associated with the timing of the state.
oh, well,
That's
that's
a
that
really
one
first
line,
part.
that one line.
And 42-1, right?
Yeah, that fixes
Okay.
that small group of employees.
Okay, all right.
For 42.2 has one additional part from the previous version I gave you that answers the question you asked.
I'm just curious on 42-2, which is something that we had reached really a tentative agreement on at the bargaining table 3 years ago. And then the union changed its mind on it as part of the package. Why is this bad? Why is trying to find 5 people to treat differently bad? I don't get it.
We're working.
You said flat out no on 25 years. And
No,
your
but I'm
biggest hang-up
saying
was
we reached an agreement to identify people last time. And 3 years ago. And your side of the table refuted it after agreement was reached. Because it was pulled out of the agreement package in favor of rolling over the previous contract.
How many of us here were there?
we weren't part of it.
I assume there's some continuity to it.
At that hearing, it was real well. I wasn't even on the road.
But before we got there, that provision,
It's still in the contract.
before we got there,
This is
that
where I go with
provision
this.
was,
What do you got?
it was all, it's all Will's fault, really. Totally should be done.
Serena.
We're the outsiders here, it was Jim's fault.
So, all right, so these 5 members,
Per year.
per year, the rest of them.
Well, the previous one, what we could see was, it was just a 1 year deal anyway.
It wasn't going to be, that's true.
You wouldn't have much more than that anyway.
And it's first come, first served. Throw them into the workout pit.
These
We used to have
These
in
gonna be
high
old-
school.
These are gonna be old guys, you know? You don't want them,
You want
you don't want old, you don't want 70-year-old firemen.
We got ladders, right? All right, we'll take a look at that. Okay.
I like it, sign it.
Well, to dust off, we have
Oh, yeah.
some research on that cost issue somewhere.
Okay, regardless of that.
But we will take a look at that.
Regardless, are you okay with that line at the bottom of 43.1, which fixes that one more issue? I think the time period fixed a few people that was talking about it.
We also got a typo. First line of new language, employee of new force.
I don't like that clause. I can tell you that, because that sounds like age discrimination, even though I know the origin.
Well, some of our
Statutory
guys have to
requirement.
retire by a certain time.
Right.
Yeah, I know, but
Fall off the calendar.
kind of language. We'll take a look at it.
Forty-five is the EMS incentive pay.
Yep. You definitely value it. We're rejecting it.
Forty-five is okay, 46. I'm sorry. Well, they're rejecting. Oh.
We're running into time here.
This is what you know, acquisition review, if you don't have one of those.
One thing is that we're really not proposing is that we don't support the process.
Sure. All right, Article 46.